Uh-huh. I'm listening to you. What rubbish are you saying? You want to quit school? Is this a prank?
Sister Lara, it's time for me to chase my dream of football and you can't get in my way.
Have you been drinking? Stand in your way. No, adjust. Let me look at you. Stand in your way. Yemi, I've been paying your fees since you were in secondary school. The clothes on your back, who paid for them? The car that you drive up and down carrying girls, who paid for it? I work myself like a dog day and night for you. And now you have the guts to come to me and tell me that you want to drop out of school to chase a pipe dream at 22. Do you have any idea at what age footballers get drafted? Which league is going to sign you?
Sis, all this sacrifice, me have not seen anything. You work in an oil company, you drive a badass car. Like, did you see the review of your car online? Anyways, I knew you were going to say this. So, I knew you were going to talk down on my dreams and, just laugh at me. Mommy was right, you're going to do this. You know what, sis? My dreams are valid.
You've gone mad. Do you understand? Oreo, I think you've gone mad. Your dreams are valid. Your dreams are valid. Oshe, Lupita, and Yongo. Your dreams are valid. See, let me tell you. Not all dreams are valid. Not all dreams are valid, especially not one that will keep you on liabilities for God knows how many years.
Who said I'm going to be a liability? Sis, do you know how much footballers that play for club side get paid?
See, I have said everything that I'm willing to say on this subject. Do you understand? If you want to chase your dreams, then you will go back to your mother's house and chase it from there. Let her support your dreams from there. Because me, I've tried for you. Do you understand? I've tried for you.
Sis, you're just being unreasonable. You're being unsupportive.
Get out! Get out! Get out! See. Come back here. Come back here! Listen. I'm not joking with you. You will pack your bags and you will get the hell out of my house. Go back to your mother's house in Festac. Do you understand what I'm telling you? What did I say? Go back to your mother's house in Festac and let her support your dreams from there. And allow me to achieve my dream of being able to actually spend the fucking money that I earn on my dancer. Do you understand what I'm telling you? When I get back to this house, I don't want to see you here. Get out, Alele. Get out. Get the hell out.
Introducing Lara and liabilities. Lara is a tough oil and gas executive. Here's how she's introduced to us. She's in her house, a rich person's house by any definition of the word, and she's with her brother. Her brother tells us that Lara drives a badass car and that he wants to quit school to become a football player. Lara's pissed as fuck. She tells him she's paid his fees since he was a little boy, how the clothes on his back were bought by her, how the car he drives around impressing girls was bought by her, and so on. Soon as you hear this in an African film, you know we're about to talk about black tax. Black tax is a dicey topic for me because I'm poor. That means to someone, I'm their black tax. I'm their burden. So that's my bias. It's important for you to know that going in. Lara says, Quote, I work myself like a dog for you, and friends, I want to believe her. But I don't. Listen, she may feel the burden to work harder because of her family's dependence on her, but come on, babe. You don't work yourself like a dog for him or for them. People who wear designer clothes don't work themselves like a dog for anyone else. It just feels like a manipulative statement to cast herself as the victim. I'm not saying Lara isn't a victim, but hey, she's not suffering. Nothing about her lifestyle at home says she's suffering. At least not financially. That 22-year-old brother insists that his dreams are valid, and Lara's just standing in his way, which pisses Lara the fuck off, and she hits him. She says, not all dreams are valid, certainly not the ones that will keep him a liability to her. And friends, that line is chilling. She says football will keep him a liability to her, not make him one. Is there something worse than being called a liability? There's so much to unpack here. It's a financial literacy show after all. I should have had someone being called a liability on my bingo card. That's on me. She hits that 22-year-old man, multiple times. First, he's 22. You have no business hitting a 22-year-old. If words can't work, kick him out. Also, you shouldn't be hitting anybody. What gives you the right? Because you pay for all their shit and now you feel like they're disrespecting you? Okay, you know men use that argument forever and continue to use it, right? Because they are younger than you or in some way subordinate like children? You know abusive men have used this argument too, right? She calls him a liability and talks about her dream of spending her money on herself. Meanwhile, I'm looking at her like, babe, designer clothes, big house, badass car, oil executive job. You already spending money on yourself. Maybe not as much as you'd like, but come on. What's with framing yourself as a victim? We're not... Let me speak for myself here. There's no universe in which I have the capacity to feel sorry for an oil and gas executive with a badass car and designer clothes and a huge house. Like, babe, you're all right. Your family may be holding you back, but you do spend money on yourself. Stop with that I'm the victim thing. Stop. Just stop that. It feels to me like TV shows insist on this singular black tax narrative where this career black person is being weighed down by their family that's just taking advantage of them and living their best lives ever at their expense. Like, this is the only way they can frame the black tax issue. Are there people who take advantage of their family members? Yes, obviously. But why is it that all the stories out there just choose this singular narrative? Black tax, for those who may be unfamiliar with the term, refers to the extra money that black professionals are expected to give every month to support their less fortunate nuclear and extended families. It's all those sacrifices, financial and otherwise, that black people have to make, are forced to make to support their less fortunate relatives. Constantly giving this money keeps them from investing and saving and getting to the financial levels that their similarly unencumbered mates are able to reach. Why? Why are all the black tax stories those of family members who are just spoiled and take advantage of their relatives? There's this concerted effort to tell these singular stories that demonize poor people. It's part of this capitalist narrative that elevates hard work and doing it yourself and demonizes any form of dependence or interdependence. The truth is, most people who are dependent on their relatives don't get whatever Lara's brother's getting. Designer clothes? And a car to impress girls? Come on, that's such a deliberate misrepresentation of what black tax on the ground truly looks like. It's money being sent for school fees and rent and food and the most basic options in each case. Designer clothes? A car? Come on, more like the cheapest rent, the cheapest food, the cheapest clothes, the cheapest school fees. I think about all the people who watch this show, who are in some way dependent on some other family member, and in a country like Nigeria with 60% of the people living in poverty, that's a lot of people. What must it be like to see yourself, because you know the writers have put in that spoiled boy as a proxy for you? What must it be like to see yourself portrayed like that? As someone who fits that bill, someone who's partially dependent on a family member, there's nothing like being constantly reminded that you're a liability. There's nothing like it. When that's you, you don't need anyone to call you a liability, to remind you that you're a liability. You call yourself that every hour, on the hour, and 3 times before you successfully pull yourself out of bed every morning. You don't need a reminder. So for a show to go out of their way to remind you and to frame you as some spoilt and grateful idiotic boy? Wow. That's something, friends. That's something. There was a year where I lost my job and got a monthly stipend from one of my family members. You can't even think when you're that broke. Or is that one poor? All the money you get is for essentials. Essentials. We used to buy the cheapest of everything, from rice to drinks. I started going to some market in town because that's where vegetables were cheaper. You count and count and count that money because it has to get to the end of the month, because you can't ask for more. And this isn't about the person supporting you. This is about your perception of yourself. You just cannot be even more of a liability. So you don't ask for more. When the prices of things go up, you almost want to cry. Actually, you want to cry all the time. Whatever is happening with Lara and her brother is not representative of what black tax actually looks like. It couldn't be further from what the reality actually is. Now that it seems like I've really dunked on the people who find themselves on the Lara side of the black tax equation, I'll say this. Money ruins relationships. It just does. When every phone call you get from your family members is about, oh, this person is sick and the school wants you to buy that and we're out of this thing or the other, it must be the worst. Like you no longer have a relationship with those people beyond your ability to meet their financial needs. And that sucks. That especially sucks when it comes to family members because they're supposed to be your people, but now you're just an animated ATM that they occasionally make withdrawals from. That must really suck. So I get that. Plus, in this case, Lara's making sacrifices that nobody seems to appreciate. It's her money, so she gets to do with it what she wants, and she chooses to help her family. Meanwhile, her brother's completely spoiled and just can't see how good he has it, along with the fact that it costs her. Still, I always feel like the person giving money has it better. They can say no. But if you're the poor relative asking for money for food, what are your options but to humble yourself and beg? Anyway, no one wins under capitalism. Everything gets tarnished.